Shands and Healy wrote a book titled The Lands Nobody Wanted. It is a story about the White Mountains, timbering, and the Weeks Act, the topic of this video. An underlying theme of the book, and in recreation and parks in general, is that often the wastelands nobody else wants can become, over time, some of the most beautiful and valued parks in our communities. The title, The Lands Nobody Wanted, is an appropriate title for this recreation and parks series. Examples include Rails to Trails, Old Quarries, Yellowstone National Park, Central Park, and Gravel Pit Parks. The Weeks Act of 1911 is significant for several reasons. First, it reflects a change in philosophy, where initially the federal government divested itself of all public lands. Then the federal government retained public lands, and then they took a position of purchasing back private lands to create national forests on the East Coast in 1911. The White Mountains National Forest was created out of a clear-cut wastelands. The timber was clear-cut, loaded on logging trains, and carried to mills like the one pictured in Lincoln, New Hampshire. To the trained eye, remnants of the timbering are evident today, 100 years later. Historically, the Zealand train provided the transportation link to remove the timber from the forest to the mill. A picture taken from the AMC Zealand hut clearly shows the remnants of the abandoned train tracks cut into the side of the mountain. The second scene shows the abandoned logging roads etched into the side of the mountain at Zealand Pond, the result of invasive species after the timber was cut. Today, the White Mountains are a recreational playground of backcountry users. The clear-cut wastelands are reforested with lush forests. The White Mountains are managed under the multiple-use, sustained yield philosophy of the Musée Act of 1960, as well as other legislation. The Great Gulf Wilderness was one of the few areas that wasn't timbered. It was inaccessible. The Appalachian Mountain Club operates a series of huts and other backcountry operations. They work in conjunction with the state parks of New Hampshire to provide tourist attractions. As part of its multiple-use management philosophy, the Forest Service still conducts extensive timbering operations on its lands. Without getting into the merits of clear-cutting and modern forestry practices, the tracts timbered are small, amorphous-shaped clear cuts with buffers left for streams. In addition, the Forest Service has developed sophisticated computer programs to analyze the visual impact of clear cutting on other recreational uses. In summary, the White Mountains have gone from the lands that nobody wanted to the lands wanted by everyone. It didn't happen overnight. It took park planners with some foresight. An important aspect of designing the experience is the ability to convert what was once unwanted wastelands like the White Mountains into valuable recreational resources.